Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed my last video, and yeah, let's get right into it. So obviously in the last video, the first of my 5-part series, I went over kind of just a general overview of Berlin and student life here in Berlin. Now, today I will be talking about specifically how the city feels. So not just a checklist, but rather talking about the character of the city and what it really has to offer from a local's perspective. Now, stay tuned for the end because I have some hidden gems to share with you, and I think you're really going to enjoy these. So yeah, let's get straight into it. My first topic is going to be talking about the specific neighborhoods, kind of looking at the vibe of each neighborhood and what each neighborhood has to offer and what makes each neighborhood unique. Because if you remember in my last video, I spoke about how your neighborhood becomes your village in a way and how most people end up spending a lot of their time inside of their neighborhood. Starting off with a lot of people's favorite, Berlin's alternative heartbeat, Kreuzberg. Kreuzberg is messy, multicultural, and although gentrification has been an issue all over the city, it remains proudly ungentrified in spirit. In a way, it feels like the city is arguing with itself in the best possible way. Kreuzberg is the home of many beautiful locations, such as, for example, the Maybach Ufer. The Maybach Ufer is a very nice place to just hang out and relax with friends on a nice sunny day. The Maybach Ufer also has a market every Tuesday and Friday, where you can get cheap produce, olives, bread, these types of things. And usually at very good prices also. Another feature of Kreuzberg is the Landwehrkanal, which is one of the best places to sit, eat, and enjoy a warm day with friends. The main artery and heartbeat of Kreuzberg would be Oranienstraße. Oranienstraße is great for a night out as it is full of bars, different shops, and there is graffiti and stickers all over the neighborhood, which are cool to look at and are usually some sort of political commentary or a very interesting little piece of art. SO36 is known for live music and is a legendary spot in Berlin's nightlife scene. And it is actually a venue that has been around since the 70s in Berlin's real punk era. So that just proves the historical ties of this venue. Now, Kreuzberg is also home to one of the most notorious parks in all of Berlin, which would be Görlitzer Park. And the Görlitzer Park has a mixed reputation and is very divisive in the city. On one hand, it is chaotic, but on the other hand, it is a very, very social park. And whenever the sun is out, the park is usually full with people hanging out, playing ball, and just having a good time. Next on my list is Friedrichshain, which really encapsulates and gives you that East Berlin energy. Friedrichshain is many people's favorite places to go out at night, including mine, to be honest, as there's just many iconic spots in and around the neighborhood. The East Side Gallery is obviously iconic to the city of Berlin, as it is the longest remaining section of the Berlin Wall, actually still standing today. The wall is covered in murals and artists from around the world, and it's really, really cool to see. And also, on the other side of the wall is the Spree, where you can also sit by the shore and just hang out and enjoy a beer with friends, or yeah, just enjoy the nice sun. The Karl-Marx-Allee runs through Friedrichshain, and it's a huge socialist-era boulevard with pavements and striking Soviet-style architecture. And originally, it was intended as kind of a show of the power of the Soviet Union and the beauty of the Soviet Union here in Berlin. On the other hand, you have Warschauer Straße. Warschauer Straße is the main transit hub in this area, and honestly, very many nice spots are in walking distance from here, so you're going to be spending a lot of time at Warschauer Straße. Staying on topic, we have one of my favorite spots in Berlin, right next to Warschauer Straße, which is the RAW Gelände, which is actually an old railway repair yard. Interesting enough. However, it has been converted into kind of a social hub with bars, clubs, a skate park, and now during the World Cup, a lot of different public viewing events happening in this area. And it's honestly a great time. RAW Gelände on the weekend is always full. Honestly, I've never seen it empty. And for good reason. Adjacent to the RAW Gelände is Simon-Dach-Straße, which is the primary street for nightlife in this area, as the street is littered with bars and restaurants and Spätis, which I mentioned in my last video also in our staple of Berlin culture. And yeah, I personally love Simon-Dach-Straße. I used to go out there pretty much exclusively, and you can have a fantastic time in Simon-Dach-Straße. Moving on to a bit of the more bougie side of the city, if you will, with Prenzlauer Berg. Prenzlauer Berg is one of the most gentrified neighborhoods in Berlin. However, it is not soulless. It has a very big cafe culture and very nice cafes, as well as many nice tree-lined streets for a nice walk. And it's a great place for families and young people alike. One of the main features of Prenzlauer Allee is Kastanienallee, which has many vintage stores, boutiques, and nice cafes where you can just sit for 3 hours and lose your time. Kulturbrauerei is another converted building, a 19th century brewery actually, which has been turned into a cultural complex featuring a cinema, concert hall, Christmas market in the winter, and several clubs as well. Honestly, the entire neighborhood of Prenzlauer Berg is perfect for just having a nice little walk after work or settling down after uni. There has been a very interesting demographic shift actually in Prenzlauer Berg, as it was famously alternative during the 90s. However, now it has pretty much been replaced with young families, and the vibe has really shifted from alternative to family friendly. Now, last but not least, many people's favorite and my current place of residence, Neukölln. Neukölln is home to Sonnenallee and Hermannplatz, which a lot of people dub Little Arabia, as the street Sonnenallee specifically is just full of Arabic shops, Turkish shops, doner shops, shawarma shops. It's honestly very, very interesting. It's like a little microcosm in Berlin. There's local markets, there's beautiful parks as well. Actually, one of the most underrated parks in Berlin, in my opinion, is there, which would be Körner Park, which honestly, in terms of look, it doesn't even look like it belongs in Berlin. It's such a sheltered and beautiful little piece of architecture, and yeah, it's beautiful. I love it personally. It is definitely noticeably more affordable than other districts that I mentioned earlier, which you'll be able to tell. And there's also plenty of bars and restaurants and nightlife activities to go around in Neukölln. You will also find a very strong community feel in Neukölln, as everyone seems to be, interconnected, interacting all the time. And there's a lot of word of mouth events happening there as well that are not necessarily advertised, but spread from person to person. It's very interesting. Moving on to free and cheap student culture and student events that you can partake in. As I mentioned in my last video, Berlin has plenty of student discounts. For example, many museums have reduced or even free entry for students. And as I mentioned in the last video, everywhere where you need to get a ticket or where you need to pay an entry fee, really, there is a very high chance that there will be a student discount. So make sure to carry your student ID with you at all times. One of the main student and young people hubs in Berlin has to be Tempelhofer Feld, which is an old airport that has been decommissioned and been turned into a giant park. And the green area is massive. And it's pretty much the place where everyone goes to do nothing and just hang out on a nice sunny day. Another park worth mentioning is Mauer Park. Mauer Park also has a very nice Sunday flea market. There's always music in Mauer Park and everyone always has having a good time there too. Very nice place. So definitely check it out if you happen to find yourself in Berlin. Now I will quickly touch on the creative and street art side of Berlin, which is one of the first things you'll notice on your way, even from the airport into the city, is that there's graffiti and street art literally on every corner of the city. There's entire walls and alleys and stuff dedicated to street art, especially around Friedrichshain and Kreuzberg. And yeah, obviously graffiti, some of it is nice, some of it not so much, but it really gives Berlin its character. And a lot of it is actually sponsored and licensed art as opposed to just random illegal spraying, which is very interesting because in most cities, I feel like this is not a thing. Berlin has plenty of vintage and secondhand shops to go around for, just a nice little alternative shopping experience to get a cheap hidden gem. Berlin has a huge club and music culture as well. As everyone knows, it is famous for its clubbing scene, which can be a little extreme at times, but is also a very fun experience. And a big reason why many people actually choose to come to Berlin, not only for student life, but also just for vacation and stuff. And yeah, it is definitely a staple of the culture of the city. And yeah, there's also many DIY and underground events such as pop-up stores, small gig venues, some random small flea markets that you can stumble upon. And yeah, it's very fun, honestly. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you that I have some hidden gems for you. So here we are. Strap in. The first hidden gem I'm going to be talking about is actually all the way in the east side of Berlin, in Marzahn, where many people don't venture. And Marzahn has a bit of a bad reputation in Berlin, not gonna lie to you, which a lot of it is unwarranted, but that's a topic for another video. And yeah, it is home to one of the hidden gems of Berlin, which would be Gärten der Welt, or Gardens of the World. You have to pay entry, of course, so, student discount. And yeah, pretty much they have differently themed gardens all over this venue. Every garden is themed based on a different country or culture. And honestly, it is so, so incredible. The gardens, they've really managed to create them very authentically looking. And I think they're all beautiful, to be honest. So definitely worth a check out. I've personally been many times. My grandmother used to take me as a child all the time. It's really close to my heart, and I'm sharing it with you now. And I also have a platform for you, which will help you discover more hidden gems, such as the Gärten der Welt. Can you believe it, guys? My storage ran out. They don't want me to record this video, I'm telling you. Anyway, so I was talking about Atlas Obscura. This video is obviously not sponsored, but Atlas Obscura is your go-to for unusual attractions in Berlin. It's basically a compilation of different attractions, events, food spots, and yeah, you can hear reviews and customer testimonials about the different spots that you might not usually hear about. So your go-to for an all-in-one encompassing platform about hidden gems and less well-known spots in Berlin, Atlas Obscura, is a page you should definitely check out. Please leave a comment if you can think of any other hidden gems that I failed to cover in this video. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.